Rogue.
Yeah, we're going to find out what he's doing for game number 2, though, because it's getting underway right now. Neither of these guys can afford a loss tonight. This is such an important match for SuperJJ, and RDU's got to start racking up wins.
Yeah, RDU could almost not afford another loss. SuperJJ still in the playoff hunt, but he just starts to, get into this giant bunch of everyone with the same record.
Yeah, back to a deck that I would love to see him play a lot more, Rogue.
Yeah, as I said, we talk about this. Anytime someone's back is against the wall, they usually revert to what they're most comfortable with, and you got to believe that's what this is for SuperJJ. And even down just 1-0, I feel that his back is fully against the wall here.
Yeah, I mean, a player like RDU is no joke. Like, you can't drop games to this guy and expect to be able to pick up a lot of matches afterwards. So he's got to start getting it done now.
Yeah, RDU's got an Innervate in his open hand. Keeps a Wrath too, knowing the importance of keeping the early minions off the board from the Rogue player.
Yeah, that's something that I often, I've tried to really get across in some of these matches, is that Rogue is so, it's actually a lot more important to stick a minion to the board than a lot of people think it is. You think about Rogue and you picture them killing a lot of minions and then using a sprint. They need to get damage on the board and start actually pushing.
Yeah, and we got an early Emperor Thorson possible here from RDU.
Yeah, SuperJJ gives him the sorry.
Yeah.
No wild growth.
Yeah, sorry, no wild growth this game. I really feel for you. I was rooting for I was rooting for you to have it.
It's a sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Is able to get a mind control tech on board if he wants to this turn, or even an early Druid of the Claw. But with turn 4 Emperor Thorson, how can you pass that up?
Yeah, that's why you're going to see the mind control tech here. One, it's probably not going to steal a minion in this matchup. If Violet Teacher's going off, you're probably losing anyway, so stealing a 1-1 is not something that's going to get you back in this game, and you just need some pressure.
Now, can't blame him for the mind control tech. Anything proactive, such an important tool to be using versus Rogue. But sometimes you get punished for this. If SuperJJ had a backstab here, this would be looking fantastic for him.
Yeah, if he has a backstab here, you get punished, but I mean, you're going to have to play around it the whole game, and there's so many ways they can get you. Like a Deadly Poison is good. Anything into SI Agent is insane here. There's so many ways they can get you.
Anything into SI7 Agent.
Yeah, any spell.
He's like Goldshire Footman in SI7 Agent.
Great.
Ready for action.
Yeah, just great.
Yeah, 3-3. I imagine RDU really wants to take out this Violet Teacher this turn, but you just cannot pass up turn 4 Emperor Thorson.
Yeah, that's something you should readily try to do in your matchups. Just play turn 4 Emperor Thorson.
Yeah, so remember, guys, if you can play turn 4 Emperor Thorson, you should be doing that.
That's up there with my great statements this season, like don't get got. It's a good one.
If you concede, you can't win.
Yep.
If you deal the other opponent to 0 before they deal you to 0, you win the game.
All right, John Madden.
Great check from SuperJJ on this turn. Does have to take a little bit of damage from it, but I don't think he's at all affected by this. He's got everything on his side right now. If RDU doesn't pick up a swipe, this game could easily get out of control.
Yeah, this game is starting to actually get out of control already. But, Wrath's going to help out a little bit here.
You can't feel good about Wrath in a 3-2, though.
Yeah, but, I mean, this Violet Teacher's worth so much more. He can start to clean up this board a little bit this turn. If he Wraths, he's still got, a couple options. He can shade into a hero power here and then hopefully trade with the SI Agent next turn and then start to build his board up with, like, Sylvanas from there. But, again, you really need to control the Rogue player. They go crazy when you leave minions in the play.
Fighting for the extra card here is actually pretty interesting because his hand right now doesn't have a lot of heavy utility in it, so I think he's actually correct to sacrifice a little bit of extra life here to get this job done. The fact that there's an extra 1-1 on the board, that you had to use your face to clear out a 3-1. I think these are all factors that can hurt you in the long run, but looking at his hand, he's got to pick up extra cards.
Yeah, like that play from RDU here, SuperJJ just going to develop his board a little bit more here with a Piloted Shredder. Great minion to have around RDU, creating that tension.
Yeah, the Sylvanas coming down after Piloted Shredder is so key because it makes sure to steal the Death Rattle. It has a chance to steal the Death Rattle minion afterwards. They trigger the order they entered play and isn't going to get punished here. SuperJJ doesn't have a sap.
Yeah, I was going to say, SuperJJ really needed a sap here to get just really going in this matchup. That's how Rogue wins this matchup. Sap is back-breaking in this matchup. It's such a huge tempo play, and then you generally just get in a ton of damage, and then they just have to replay what you sapped.
Yeah. Another big factor for playing this Sylvanas this turn is even if it gets sapped, RDU's not totally sad about that because he's got the Ancient of War behind it.
I would say SuperJJ's got to be fine just trading in here and letting him have whatever gets left over, right? And then you can, pick it off with the knife. Plus, he gets to see what comes out first. So I like this play from SuperJJ. And then you can just, redevelop from here. He could even Violet Teacher into Eviscerate here to make a 1-1 if he doesn't want to use his face to take care of this.
Yeah, not much of an option for him. I totally agree with you. I feel like this is the play he had to make. Just treating it as a taunt that is going to end up clearing your board.
Now, if he plays Azure Drake, you got to believe he's using. Okay, well, he's going to, read this.
This is a tough spot either way. I could just as easily see Ring Daggering up here.
Yeah, it looks like that's what he's going to do. He's going to re-dagger up here. Wants to keep the eviscerates around to, maybe take care of minions since his life total is getting low.
So now normally, I think Rdu would look at this spot and think to himself, there's no sap in my opponent's hand. But given that it's a reload with Violet Teacher and that he's keeping the board under control, maybe he just didn't want to face down to Sylvanas and it felt relatively easy for him. But he snap played this Ancient of War.
Yeah, you have to believe that there's no sap there. But again, there's a chance that SuperJJ's hand had a sap in it last turn. He just wouldn't play it that way anyway. And, there's a chance there's a play of just sprinting here, trying to pick up sap and prep. But I like just, getting some more minions on the board because he's not going to win playing this super long game with Rdu.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, this spot to me, it looks like that he's just trying to build enough board tension to find a way to push through. And this is the reason why Ancient of War is good in this spot. It forces your opponent to have to be able to take action.
Yeah, love this turn here from Rdu.
Yeah, just get aggressive. I think his read on this situation is pretty darn spot on. If he pushes him to 14, SuperJJ has to feel nervous about it. If he doesn't have Blade Flurry, he gets punished in this spot oftentimes. I mean, look at the desperation that has to be made here. He needs to clear out the 5-2, needs to clear out the 4-4, but he doesn't have the right tools to do it, so it's costing him a lot of life.
Yeah, he has to, make Eviscerate a combo. I mean, he could use the Eviscerate just for 2, couple it with Loatheb here, but then, you die to a lot of things, so you might have the Earth Ring Farseer here plus Eviscerate, but then what else do? You get in 1 and get to re-dagger up, and that's if you use the Eviscerate on the Ancient of War, because you could use it on the Druid of the Cloud. There's so many different things SuperJJ can do here, and this is a very difficult turn.
Yeah, just not a comfortable spot at all. The last thing he wants to be doing is dropping even lower, but it looks like he has to.
Yeah, and here's that that laugh we talked about. That's not the good kind of laugh.
Yep. Gonna let Loatheb dictate whether or not I think he's trying to bait Rdu into a trade with this Loatheb instead. And honestly, I like this play, but I don't know if Rdu's necessarily going to fall for this model. Like, especially, when he sees the Loatheb come out, he knows that that's not going to happen, but I would just
go upstairs here. Yeah, when you get to play the Loatheb, you get to go upstairs here. There's almost nothing SuperJJ can do.
I like his play, but, just the caliber of player he's against, he's not going to fall into a trap like that.
Yep. That's going to do it. Yep,
yeah, not even going to try to fight this one out. Not even going to let Rdu start swinging away and try to get the damage he can. He's got to do something to pick up this game because that was sort of the illustration of the matchup that I think that Muzzy was looking for, the purple one.